not, but you know, Costa, we're nearly at the end of January and they're still giving out Christmas cups. I mean, I don't know. Should you be still doing that? Maybe save them till next year? I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't sit right with me. I only just noticed it a minute ago. But yeah, it just seems a bit weird, doesn't it? You know, Christmas is long gone now, but cannot do this video today without having a little bit of flat white in me. You know what I'm saying? What's happening, everybody? Welcome to today's video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that has completely changed my training and something that is overlooked. I overlooked for like a long time, for years even, and now like is incredibly important. And you know, I do it with all my clients. Obviously, I make sure all my clients go through this stuff, and it's all part of our training program. And I think it's massively underlooked, and that's the importance of getting in a good warm-up. Now, to you, a warm-up might have been, you know, going on the cross trainer for 5-10 minutes, you know, get the blood flow going. Might have been sitting on the rowing machine, going on the bike, or whatever it may be, just to get you feeling more warm, which is not a bad thing. But depending on like what you're planning on doing throughout that workout session, whether it's squatting, bench pressing, deadlifting, just a general strength workout, then it's like massively important that you do the right kind of warm-up. Now, within a warm-up, I'm kind of talking about like mobility, stability exercises, so stretching, strengthening exercises, you know, warming up the target area which you're going to be doing through that workout, as well as adding in some form of like a bit of a cardio element to it, again, just to get the blood flowing around the whole of the body and get the heart rate elevated a little bit to get the body warm. But I'm telling you, ever since I've introduced this into my own training, and in this video, you know, I'm getting ready for a squat workout, so everything's very much based around warming up my hips, mobilizing my hips, getting my legs nice and warm, getting my body generally warm, and just so that when it comes to doing the squats, one, you're going to be able to get into a better position, you're going to be less likely to injure yourself, but you're just going to feel more warm and more ready. And it's amazing how if you put together the proper type of warm-up for your particular workout, and like I said in this video, warming up things ready to go into some heavy squats, I can go into those squats, feel nice and loose, not like I'm going to hurt myself, but just more limber. And with that more kind of limberness and looseness, you feel stronger in that position. And I can squat a lot heavier and progress through the weight a lot better once you've had that particular warm-up. I think one of the major areas that people like overlook with this is, let's say you're doing something completely different, like, I don't know, maybe you're just going out for a run. You're going to run 5K, or maybe you are going to be doing some skipping, or just something that's like, you feel like I can just jump straight into this. Because that's kind of what I used to be like. You know, when you're younger, when you're in your early 20s, your body's like a lot more limber, a lot less wear and tear on it. I could go into the gym and I'd be like, right, today I'm going to be squatting. My warm-up is going to be squatting, which isn't that bad, but there's a lot more mechanics to it. You know, you're not going to squat that well if your hips are really tight. You're not going to squat that well if your hip flexors are tight. You're not going to be able to get properly warmed up if your body and your muscles are just generally tight and cold. So when I was younger, you could jump in there and just build up through the weight of squatting and everything would feel fine. But the longer and longer you continue those kind of same patterns, then that's when you're not necessarily strengthening and loosening things around those areas of the body. And then what happens is, if you're just constantly moving in the same movements all the time, you're neglecting a lot of things. And like, let's say you are going out for a 5K run. You know, I'm just going to go out, I'm going to start with a steady walk, and then I'm going to get into a run and start that run off. Great. But, you know, again, while you're younger, that might be okay. As you get older, injuries are going to crop up, repetitive strains are going to crop up. Let's say you sit at a desk all day and then that evening you're going out running. There's an imbalance there. So you need to make sure that even if your goal isn't to build muscle, get stronger, you want to get better at running, or you just want to run and to get fitter, then you need to make sure that with those there's the proper workout, warm-ups as well. Loosening up your hips, warming up your glutes, stretching your calves, you know, getting some blood flowing through the body. I can guarantee you if you spent 5-10 minutes before a run doing some mobility exercises around your hips, around your hip flexors, you know, doing some resistance band stuff to get your glutes firing up and activated, that you're going to go out on that run and it's just going to instantly feel like a better run, because you've got a bit of blood moving and you've got some blood pumped into those muscles and you're more mobile and limber. When you go out on that run, it's going to feel like the best run you've ever done, because you're starting off on the right foot, you're preparing properly. And this is like a big thing. It's just making sure that you don't neglect this stuff. So like me, for example, within this workout that I was doing, getting ready to go into some squats. Now, the main part of my workout was working on squat strength, and what I was doing was cluster sets. So I was working my way up to like 75, 80, 85, 90% of my max repetition weight, and I was doing like 2-1-1 cluster sets. So you do 2 reps, you'd rest for like 15-20 seconds, do another rep, re-rack the weight, rest for another 10-15 seconds and go again. So prior to that, I wanted to run through some exercises which were going to get me ready to make the most out of that squat stuff. And the other thing you got to remember is, if you go into workouts without properly warming up and you hurt yourself, all that's going to do is keep you away from being able to go in and do the fun stuff that you were so eager to get on with doing. Yes, squatting, bench pressing, this is where, you know, you can see the progress, this is where the muscle's built. But if you're hurt or you're injured, you can't go and do that, and that's just going to take you even longer to get to the results that you want to get to. So warming up prior to a workout is incredibly important. Now, I did 3 sets of all of these exercises, just getting myself ready. So I did hip flexor stretches, because the majority of people in everyday life, your hip flexors are going to get way too tight from a lot of sitting down, depending on what you're doing. If you're sitting at a desk, sitting on the sofa, you drive a lot. I mean, I'm sitting down making this video right now, so your hip flexors are likely going to get quite tight. So stretching those out, I was working on that, and then we moved into some Cossack squats. Again, this is now, I'm targeting a bit more of the leg, so I'm pumping a bit of blood into those muscles which I'm going to go on and do the squats with, but I'm also stretching all through my adductors and my inner thighs whilst doing that at the same time. 20 repetitions. And then we moved into a bit of rotational work, so now loosening up the upper back, again just so everything feels a bit more comfortable, less tight and less likely to hurt yourself. So half kneeling, stretching out that adductor again, and also getting a good stretch all through my upper back, shoulders, with a bit of rotational work. Then I threw in doing 10 calories on the rower, just to get the heart rate up, get the whole body moving and warm. The rower's quite good because I'm involving my back, my arms, my legs in it, so I'm engaging the muscles, so I'm getting blood pumping and flowing through the muscles, and just getting my heart rate up a little bit more warm, and just a bit more in the mood, ready to get into that main part of the workout, which is the squatting and the building the muscle. But all of this primer stuff is like incredibly important to make sure that I can get the most when it comes to the squats. Now, if you didn't do all of that warm up and you go into those squats a bit achy and a bit stiff, then the chances are you're probably not going to be able to squat as heavy. So you're holding back your progress by trying to skip all of the kind of quote unquote like more boring stuff just to get straight into the nitty gritty and the fun stuff. And like I said, 3 rounds of that, you're going to feel nice and warm. The whole body is going to feel nicely loosened up and pumped, ready to get into those squats. So guys, my piece of advice for you today in this video is to make sure that whatever you're going to go and do, whether it's a run, whether it's skipping at home, whether it's a strength workout, squatting, deadlifting, whatever it is that you're going to do, make sure you do an appropriate warm-up and you're working on mobility, stability, and getting the blood flowing, ready to move into the more fun stuff and the stuff that you're trying to progress with, so that you can stay injury free and you can get the most out of that workout. And just generally, if you're working on all this mobility stuff and this stretching every day, in everyday life, you're going to feel a lot better. You know, you're going to get less of those lower backs, aches and pains, less joint pain. You're going to feel better when you're picking up the kids and when you're playing with the grandchildren and when you're trying to just do general everyday stuff, you know? Okay. So there's my one piece of advice for you today, is make sure that you are warming up properly. It's one of the major things that I focused on in my later years of training. Like, I'm saying that like I'm like really old, but in terms of like, you know, my early years, you just go in and you get on with the fun stuff. But now it's about longevity and being able to continue to make that progress for longer and continue to train and do the things you love for as long as possible. And this is all part of that. So make sure that you are focusing on that. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, anything you want to add in and, you know, speak about, then, you know, comment in the comment section. Said the word comment a lot there. And I'll get back to you. And I will look forward to, oh, don't forget guys, give the video a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, share it with anybody who you think would benefit from watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.